The National Executive Committee of the Congress of Traditional Leaders of South Africa has unanimously resolved to cancel the 2020 winter initiation season. Contralesa has warned that initiation could become fertile ground for the coronavirus to spread quickly among initiates. To discuss this now, I'm joined via Skype by Contralesa's Secretary General Zolani Mkiva. Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for your time. Just first up, what led you as Contralesa to come to this decision?
Well, given the outbreak of the coronavirus, we were compelled to consider the cancellation of the winter season. But we had to embark on an extensive consultation process with all the cultural communities that practice the ritual of the rites of passage from boyhood to manhood. And we had to ensure that all the components of the institution of traditional leadership are brought on board in terms of getting their views on this matter. And we all of us agreed unanimously that the outbreak will cause a number of fatalities if we were to proceed with the winter season. And therefore, we then decided to take a wise decision to cancel the winter season of the year 2020. And this is an unprecedented decision informed by the unprecedented circumstances. Never in the history that we have had a universal cancellation of a season of initiation. And but because this virus is a silent enemy, it's invisible, and we felt that in the great interest of our children and our boys, we then had to prioritize their lives and ensure that we don't take a risk that could have dire consequences.
Now, has your decision been communicated to all the 9 provinces, and how have you gone about doing that?
Well, our decision has been communicated in all the provinces. Firstly, on the 20th of April, the president of Contralesa, Hoshi Matupa Mugwena, signed the order of this decision of the National Executive Committee. We then communicated this decision to all our provincial structures, that is the structures of Contralesa. We also communicated it to the National House of Traditional Leaders, as well as the respective provincial houses of traditional leaders. But we did not end there. We went further to communicate with the traditional authorities of the entire Republic. We also communicated our decision to the National Command Council as well as the Cabinet in order for that decision to be included in the regulations of the state of emergency as well as the lockdown. Because we wanted to side by side, as the institution of traditional leadership, put this decision into effect, working in partnership with the national government, provincial governments, as well as the district and local municipalities.
Now, how has those traditional leaders that you've communicated this decision to received the news, and how have they responded to your decision? Are they going to respect it?
Well, this decision has been received positively, and it has been welcomed by all traditional leaders across the length and the breadth of the country. All of them agree, and the respective royal houses have also issued statements in support of this decision. And we believe that this decision will be upheld by the entire leadership breadth of the institution of traditional leadership. Kings, princes, senior traditional leaders, headmen and headwomen have embraced this decision. And we are ready to ensure that it is observed and it is adhered to. Failure to adhere to this decision, the traditional authorities have capacity within their own areas of jurisdiction to ensure that everybody abides by this decision and its regulations. And as I have indicated, the state, with all the relevant departments, the Department of Police, the Department of Health, as well as COPTA, those departments will give supporting role. And failure by anybody to do something that is contrary to what we are communicating, then people will face the full might and the wrath of the institution of traditional leadership, as well as the might of the law of this country.
So the consequences is that people will be arrested?
The consequences is that people will be arrested and they will then be charged. And we anticipate, because this will be in contempt of the laws of the Republic, and it will be really a very bad challenge to what has been communicated. We will not leave any stone unturned in this matter. Anybody who does something contrary to what we are communicating will face really very, very hard penalties.
Now, Mhlekazi, while I have you, we know in the past we've had to deal, sadly, with the illegal initiation schools, and those are not covered, obviously, under your traditional leadership structures. How would you propose that they be dealt with this winter?
The illegal and bogus schools are acts of criminality, and therefore they will be dealt as such. The law enforcement agencies of the country, supported by the traditional authorities of this country, will act to expose those and will hand them over to the law enforcement agencies. We will deal with them in a very drastic way, in a very, very aggressive manner, if these bogus doctors, traditional surgeons who initiate these schools, will carry on with this. Because we want to take this opportunity as a positive side to this outbreak to say that we need to replenish for the next initiation season so that even the fatalities that were happening prior to this outbreak do not occur in the future. So anybody who is going to disrupt these plans then really will be will face the wrath of the institution of traditional leadership. And we have taken a decision that we exercise our inherited role as well as the functions and powers of the institution of traditional leaders and put our hand at the center of the administration of the initiation season. We think that this can no longer be allowed to continue under our watch, and it is for that decision that it is for that reason that this decision has been unanimous, because everybody is clear that we need to change our ways. We need to ensure that we act mercilessly against the bogus schools. We act mercilessly against the bogus traditional surgeons.